NADA Used Car Guide Headquarters, this is Guidelines Report with Executive Automotive Analyst Jonathan Banks.
The used vehicle market made up for lost ground in March as thawing temperatures allowed dealers and consumers to re-engage one another after harsh winter weather crimped market activity over the first 2 months of the year. Prices of used vehicles up to 8 years in age improved by 2.3% on a monthly basis in March, which was 1.5 percentage points more than February's tepid 0.8% rise. It was also the highest increase recorded since March 2014, when prices ballooned over 4%. March's solid gain lifted NADA's seasonally adjusted used vehicle price index to 124.3, up from February's level of 123.5, but down from last March's lofty figure of 125.7. We believe March's cresting wave of seasonal demand will contain enough energy to limit depreciation to a modest 1% in April. If the forecast rings true, the month's loss would be an improvement over the 1.5% decline average for the month over the past 10 years. Similar to March, depreciation within mainstream and luxury groupings is expected to be tightly clustered, with losses continuing to be more substantial for premium segments. As far as new cars go, deliveries flattened out in March, with sales up only 0.4%. The SAAR was just above 17 million units in March, making it just the third to pass this threshold since mid-2006. All told, sales for the first quarter were up nearly 6%. With sales sliding by 2% last month, domestics went in the wrong direction, but American automakers are still up by more than 4% year-to-date. Fiat Chrysler automobiles stayed afloat, with deliveries rising by just over 1%. Coming in second place to FCA was General Motors, but that was little consolation to the automaker, given that sales fell by nearly 2.5%. Fortunately, year-to-date sales growth is still quite respectable, up 5% year-over-year. Ford Motor Company's sales sunk by 4% in March, while its year-to-date sales pace is just 2% above last year's. For the second consecutive month, import sales grew the fastest and were up by more than 2% overall, thanks in particular to European makes, which were up a collective 5%. After the first quarter of 2015, import deliveries are up 7% year-over-year and lead domestic growth by more than 2 percentage points. Excluding Volkswagen, which realized an 18% decline, European automakers saw deliveries jump by more than 13% altogether. Audi stood out with its 20% sales improvement, resulting primarily from the new releases of the A3 and Q3, while BMW was up 12% as many of its volume models sold well. South Korean deliveries increased by nearly 10% as the Hyundai and Kia brands exhibited sales growth of 12% and 7% respectively. Japanese automakers trailed the industry, with sales creeping up only 0.3% as a result of the Japanese Big Three realizing only flat sales. However, Subaru was able to maintain its double-digit growth pace as legacy deliveries shot up by 90%. For the year, Japanese makes still enjoy a 7% gain thanks to double-digit growth from Toyota, Subaru, and Mitsubishi. While spending consistently increased over the past 2 years, 2015 has seen incentives flatten out. Per auto data, average incentive spending of $2,726 per unit in March was just 0.4% higher than a year ago, while incentives year-to-date are essentially unchanged. Days supply declined by 11 days month over month in March, which was 4 days fewer than last year. That's this month's market update. To download the full report, visit nada.com/B2B. Also, be sure to check out our vehicle reviews at nada.com/usedcar. We'll see you next time.